Tone from Trackmasters, my man Polk. Want to give a shout out to allhiphop.com and Little NIkki, keeping it real.
Little sis on the go. I'm loving it.
What's up, everybody? This is Little NIkki Duncan-Smith, aka Kershaw St. Jawnson, and I'm here with the Trackmasters. What's going on, y'all?
NIkki, that's you.
Yes, NIkki, that's me.
What the fuck, NIkki? What's good?
Polk had a whole conversation with me. I had no idea who I am.
I'm like looking at your face, like I know her face. I'm like, yes, NIkki, what's the deal? What's good?
NIkki, I thought you moved to DR or something. I heard something like that.
Well, you know, I'll be around. I'll be around.
I hear that. What's up, homegirl?
Guys? What's going on? Congratulations for all the things that you've been doing. You know, I'm huge Trackmaster fans. I've always been fans of you guys. And so when they said, hey, you have an opportunity to interview with the Trackmasters, I was like, that's MFing right. I got the Trackmasters. How you guys
Appreciate it. Everything's good. Everything's fantastic.
Everything's good. Everything's fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, so for
how
all
you been?
First of all, NIkki, you haven't aged a day.
Well, I am. I'll be 50 this year, a week and a month after.
Wow.
You lying. Are you serious?
You can't. You no way in the world you're 50.
I'll be 50 this year. Yep. Y'all probably used to me with the baby locks when I first started.
Yeah, like this is crazy.
That's funny, crazy. Right?
That's unbelievable.
We had the whole conversation about allure and everything.
I know. I'm just like, I feel crazy right now.
No, it's okay. It's been a minute. It's been a long time.
Absolutely.
So for our listeners or our viewers, they may not know, but you guys are like, when they talk about great hip hop, specifically in the 90s, they cannot talk about it without mentioning the Trackmasters and your contribution to the greats, people that they consider the greats in their top fives. You guys made that sound. You made them pop with your production. Am I wrong for saying that?
We had a good run. We made some real great music on some great artists. So I appreciate that.
And some of them are the biggies.
The biggies.
The LLs.
LLs.
Unfortunately, a lot of them that have passed. But yeah, we were involved in some of those big ones.
So I want to take it all the way back. Let's see, how did you guys connect? How did you guys, because I know you guys were doing things on your own. How did you guys come together as the Trackmasters?
Tone, I tell a story all the time, so you can go.
Oh my gosh. I got to give the short version because there's such a long version to this. But so I'll give you the short version. I lived in Fort Greene. Polk was living in Crown Heights, but we had someone was looking for talent to produce music for their artist who was in California at the time. So they put out feelers to some New York producers, and someone Polk knew on his side in Crown Heights knew Polk. Someone that I knew in Fort Greene reached out to me. Those two guys knew each other, and we showed up to a meeting to meet a gentleman by the name of Andre, who had an artist. And it was the first time me and Polk had met each other, but he was really introduced, wanted us to work separately on this artist. But when we got in the room together, we spoke and he said, you guys should come together and produce music for my artist. And that's how we met. Polk needed a ride home because he didn't have a car. I did. So I drove Polk home. We went up to his crib where he had his production setup, which was an Amiga computer at the time. Yep, Polk was using a computer all the way back then before it even became popular. And I thought it was real interesting. We had a conversation, and then we formed our production company that day. So, and yeah, it's just been sailing ever since.
Yeah, that's kind of what I remember.
The way that Andre introduced us, he said, these are going to be my artists and you two guys are going to be my Trackmasters. And Tone and I looked at each other like, yo, that name is fire.
That name is fire.
And we ran with it.
Yo, I love that. I always remember like Poke being the techie one, like that you loved everything that was kind of tech. Yeah, like super nerdy. And I remember Tone being like the swaggy one, like just the one that knew what everybody was doing. Still is.
Nothing changed in that department.
I mean, it makes a great collaboration. You guys are still rocking out years later, huh?
Yep. Still going strong, still doing what we do.
And you guys have been in probably every phase of it. I mean, I know Tone was an artist, right?
Yep. I was a recording artist.
Right?
Yep, exactly. Yep. We've seen every facet of the business. Like very rare. You know, obviously there are guys who have done it, but you know, yes, artist, producer, executive, managers, yeah, we've done it all. So.
And is there a big difference from being an artist to being a producer? And then I'll take the other step. But from artist to being a producer, is there a big difference?
I mean, I think there is. I mean, I like to look. I consider producers artists, honestly. You know, we have, you know, the same creative mind that artists actually have. We visualize things like artists visualize things. We're just a little easier to deal with, I think, because, you know, most producers don't have to deal with all of the attention and notoriety that comes with being an actual artist. So you're not in the public eye all the time. So it doesn't drive you as crazy, but I think producers are artists in their own rights. And you would know that if you managed an artist or managed a producer, you kind of get the same resistance, you know.
Resistance is a good word. I like, some people call it crazy, but you know.
I'm just avoiding that word, but yeah.
No, it's the best kind of, it's the best kind of like energy. Let's say energy, because you guys see something before it actually manifests, right? You're able to hear it, you're able to. What are some of the differences between being a producer and executives? And is there the same type of crazy there?
Well, on the executive side, there's a lot of politics involved, and you have to be extremely diplomatic because you as an executive, you have to deal with the artist, the producer, the managers. You have to deal with the production company. You have to deal with promotions. You have to deal with every facet of what makes the hamster wheel go. You have to deal with it all. So it's from that standpoint, you have to be extremely diplomatic and be able to shake hands and move around in such a way that you're the good cop and the bad cop. And that's really hard to juggle, especially when you're dealing with the bigger artists, because once you're the bad cop, you're the bad cop. It is what it is. So, you know, that's the difference. And as a producer, you only have to deal with the artist. That's pretty much, and talk to your management and whatever. But other than that, you don't really, you don't really have to. You can stay in a creative lane, right? And as an executive, there's the only thing that you're creative about is how to juggle the entire hamster wheel. But that's pretty much the differences between the two job positions.
I have like a little bit of, you know, insight on how you guys work. And so it seems like you guys knew how to juggle the hamster wheel very, very well. I think of Beersville, and I think of how you guys would just throw artists up in Beersville and just come out with just this big old like collection of music. Was that a strategy, or was that just something that happened? And what was the mindset of sending folks so far away to create?
So,
I think Bearsville came about with Nas, and I think it was the idea. You know, Steve Stoute was managing the Trackmasters, and he was managing Nas. I think it was a way, number one, to take Nas out of the environment, his day-to-day environment, and put him in a place where all he could do was work with no distractions. And you know, obviously we went up there as a team, but after, you know, being up in Bearsville, we realized, wow, this may be the best way to work. So we moved it from Nas, and we worked with other artists after that, just to have, just to get away from the city. At the time, New York City was on fire with popular studios, and this was just a way to get away from the hustle and bustle and focus on actually creating.
I like it. I like it. If we can go back to like some of the great, like the beginnings of Trackmasters that really put you guys on the map. Can you guys talk to me about some of the songs that you guys worked on? That when the songs came out, you was like, oh shit, we did that. Like what was those songs for you?
Well, the funny thing is that at one point we had like I want to say, I think it was like 5 top 10 records happening at the same time. And we didn't even realize that what was going on, because me and Tone was in the arcade playing video games. And we was Steve Stoute was looking to leave RCA and to start a whole new venture. And he used to come to the arcade with us to play games. And we didn't realize what we had, because we was just constantly just trying to make records. But some of those records were like Be Happy, Juicy, we had So For Real, we had Tom, what was the other records? There was another 2 records that were big at the time.
Juicy, Be Happy, and Candy Rain were like all out at the same time. So
right, they were all out, but there was something that followed up, right? Your All I Need came out right after that. And then there was another record that followed that I'm trying to remember. But I can't remember the record now.
That's what happens when you just got joints after joints.
But we had all of these records kind of out at the same time, right? And we was tearing up the charts, not knowing what it was, because we didn't really pay attention to that stuff. And when Stoute was like, yo, do you realize what you guys are doing right now? It's unbelievable. So we was like, I don't know. And he was like, yo, just let me get a stab at managing your careers. Let me see what I can do. And so we ran with it, and the rest was history.
I mean, it was amazing just to hear. Like, that's so, first of all, Soul For Real, Candy Rain. Yeah. Like, that's like one of the biggest songs ever, right? Like when you talk about Black Life, like Black Life.
Oh, Black Life.
Right. In the jam, that's like, what? Like when you ever go to a party and just everything that they're playing is y'all. Do y'all still go to parties?
Social gatherings, I'll go out every now
lounges.
Every now and then, if I want to, check out some new talent, I'll pop my head into some ridiculous nightclub and shit just to see, what's going on. But for the most part, no. For the most part, not really.
So how do you guys keep your fingers on the pulse? Because even though you may not be still producing things, you still are finding new acts. I know that with what is United Masters, you guys still finding talent to put out. How do you keep your fingers on the pulse? Are your kids telling you, or are you online just listening? What's going on?
Yes. Online, obviously, every day, just staying tapped in to the pulse. And then yes, we have our younger Trackmasters, that have that keep us in tune, so they're like the A&Rs for our company now. They do what we did back in the day. So we definitely defer to our young talent to tell us what's moving, what's shaking. And that's just how we just stay abreast of, all of the new music going on, all the new talent coming up.
Wait, so y'all got younger Trackmasters? Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
y'all got producers and A&Rs out there that's got their ears to the street and listening and telling y'all who's hot?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did y'all ever think y'all would have 3 generations of Trackmasters?
Well, yes. But I think that's with any company, as you get older, you have to bring in the new talent, not just talent as an artist or producer, but executive talent as well. So I think that's important. You know, Andre Harrell gave Polk a chance to be an A&R, gave me a chance to be a producer and a writer, and so on and so forth. You know, you're always looking for the next hot ear, so to speak.
When you think about so many people have transitioned, like Andre Harrell, and those leaders of hip hop culture, you guys are kind of walking into those spaces now. Like, you guys are the uncles in this space. You guys are the carriers of the culture, right? Is it a huge responsibility, or do you just think that's the natural transition of things?
Yeah,
I think I think it's kind of natural. It's funny because we still both feel like we're young, even though we're falling into that category of the OGs. But
until you bring in a young artist, a young producer who's never actually listened to a Biggie album, and then you realize, oh shit, so shame on them, but oh shit.
It's a little outside the realm of OG.
I have something for you guys. So 50 Cent. I would think that like 50 Cent kind of.
It's crazy, Nikki, because you've been throughout a whole thing. You was there to witness all of this. That's crazy.
I saw it. Okay. I saw it, and people don't like, they connect 50 to Dre, but before Dre, before Dre was you guys, right? You guys talk about some of that tussle, because one of the things I remember having conversations with Boo Boo was that he used to say, "I make more money on the streets than making music." And I know that was a huge struggle with you guys. I remember calling Steve and kind of crying, like, he's going to go back out there if y'all don't get him a hit. What was that like meeting 50? And did y'all ever see it? Did y'all see it?
Did we see what? That 50 could be 50?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
From day one.
Yeah. We knew we knew exactly what he could be. We saw the talent. We saw the work ethic, which is something that obviously carries on to this day. He works harder than most. So it was something that we saw from day one. Yeah, I mean, things happen, but I know for a fact that we had hits in the can. Power of the Dollar was crazy. We had monsters on there. So yeah.
I don't hear it as I hear it as a great, things happen the way they're supposed to happen, but being a part of anybody's genesis is an amazing thing, because to see that young man and to hear his vision and to hear how excited he was to be with you guys. I mean, I was living in Rochdale, so that was like right across the street from him, and he'd take the train home, and he would talk about how blessed he was to be down with you guys. So that was always just a really cool moment. And even the group Black, Boom Like an 808, like, you guys make joints. I mean, and then y'all went from Trackmasters, the label, to being Columbia Music Folk. Like, you guys had your fingers in, like, the Nas, but Destiny's Child very early on. Like, you guys were. How was that making that transition to Columbia?
I don't know. I think we have different views. I'm not sure how Pope felt. I felt back then it was early to transition to the executive role, especially not actually being taught how to run a department, being at the height of your career as a producer. So for me, it was kind of being, taking a fish out of water, and so for me, I missed producing, even though we tried to produce as much as we can while we were in the house, but really just being that studio rat and developing the things that you really want to develop. That was I missed that part of it, but it was cool.
Cool.
Tough. tough because Sony is a corporate as it. Sony was as corporate as you can get back then. So
listen, they threw us to the wolves like that. That was like the most the craziest education on the music business ever, because up until then we just thought it was really about making big records and just making the best product that you can make. But going in there, it showed that it wasn't really about that. It was really about the marketing and how you network with the promotions of building an act. And there was so much politics involved with it that was just like earth-shattering to me. It was a wake-up call 100% with the games that they play. It didn't matter if you had a hit record because they would shelf you and the hit record. They didn't give a shit. So that was a thing. And it's a difference between being on an independent label and being on a big major label, because that corporate ladder is crazy. It's like they will end you. You will get gray hairs. It's like being a president. It's crazy. So it was a crazy education for me.
It's a crazy education, but I'm sure those experiences help you guys now as executives and as still producers in kind of curating a different lane now. You want to talk about what you guys are doing now?
Oh, sure. Yep, sure. Just still creating, working on different ventures right now. One of the current artists that we have signed is an artist by the name of Fouché, who's signed to RCA. And she's doing extremely well. There's a project out right now and a record with Uzi. So just developing artists like Fouché and constantly looking for talent. So
how do you guys stay like motivated? Like what is it that keeps you guys going? Or is this a job for you now? Like, do you still have the same love for the art that you had in the past? I can tell you this though. I used to love being around you guys and seeing how this is all like back in the day, you know, but I always saw this light in you all that really loved the work that you guys did and that you do. Is it still there, or is it shifting into something else?
I think music has expanded outside of just music. And that growth process keeps you wanting to try new things and develop new partnerships. And because music is now not just music, it's really ventured into creating like all these ancillary businesses. It gives you it's like a bigger tent in terms of business and how you develop all of these businesses. And in developing all these businesses, you create all these new kind of contacts, and you meet these different type of people that aren't really in the music business, but they're in everything else. So you start learning other things outside of the music, but that thing is what keeps the fire going, because now you're saying, oh my God, I can spread into X and Y and Z, and those things keep you motivated and make you want to get up to go make the music, because you know that you can place it in different places that you couldn't place it back when we were at Columbia. It's a very different model now.
So that's like video games. It's like syncing with like television and all this stuff. Oh my God, what are you? Where are you guys that we might never think that you guys are? Like your music or things that you've worked on that we would never think of.
Well, at one point, ringtones became huge, right? So when Apple integrated everything and decoupled the project and just made everything singles, right? Now you can put music on anything. Music come with clothing now. Music comes with your car. Music comes with anything, any product that you can possibly imagine. There's some type of music merge business wise in it. So especially our catalog is damn near everywhere. So we some places we don't even know that it's there. We just like, oh, word, get out of here. I didn't even know that. You know what I mean? So it sometimes it's surprising to us where our music ends up.
Oh, that's big money stuff. Y'all just got shit happening. Y'all don't even be knowing. It's just money coming in. Oh my God. That's Z money on a whole nother level.
Trying to make it happen.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
So what do we need to know right now about the Trackmasters and what we can expect for 2023 as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of hip hop? How are you guys incorporated in it? What we need to be buying, tapping in, because buying, because it's still, a game. We still got.
Well, they got the hip hop museum coming up, and we're gonna have an exhibit there. We also have a slate of artists that we're going to launch this year. That's gonna, I'm not gonna say it's gonna change things, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring back the music of music, because music went a little left to us for a while, and we're just trying to bring that music, the authentic music back. Well, what we call authentic, but we're just trying to bring music that feel good. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a slate of projects that we're going to launch for 23, because we're coming out here like 23. We're not messing around. We're going to make sure that we flood the market with our sound and who we've always been, and launch really good acts. So that's what's going on for the next year.
And y'all got some rappers. Y'all need some rappers, because y'all don't know. I got an L16 in my pocket all times. No, no. The laughing is nervous. Like I can rap.
We can develop anyone. Let's go, nigga.
That's what I know. Y'all can take anybody and make them a star. That's what I know. I'm just saying.
We try.
The place in hip hop right now that gets me really excited right now is battle rap. Do any of you guys check into battle rap at all?
100% battle rap fan. Absolutely.
Who's your favorite, Tone? Who's your favorite in the battle rap? See, I put him on the spot.
You didn't put me on the spot. Oh man.
There's a lot of nice dudes. Surf Turf is nice.
Sue Surf is good. I like Sue Surf. I mean, Sue Surf made a nice little comeback. Let me see.
Was homeboy with the M on his face?
With the M on. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
You don't know
homeboy? I know he's Daylight. You talking about Daylight?
Daylight.
Daylight. He's a monster.
He's a monster.
He got bars, boy.
Yeah, you got. There's some dudes out there. Like there's this cat, New Jersey Twerk. He's fire.
Twerk is nice.
Twerk is nice.
But
Twerk is
yells
nice.
at 12. I like Twerk.
He's
loud. He's loud. He's in your face. I like Twerk.
Tay Rock is nice.
I like Tay Rock.
Tay Rock. I like Tay Rock too.
Tay Rock is too. I gotta get y'all out to a
battle rap.
Yeah, battle rap.
I think I used to go and then to the actual event with Beasley and Smack, but after the pandemic, I haven't been since then. So
it's a whole nother level.
The pandemic slowed it down for a minute. But we was messing with.
Used to work with Wack back in the day.
Who?
He used to work with Wack
Beasley
at Sony. Yeah, back in the day.
I didn't know that. What? Yeah. Wow.
History of this. 550.
Wow.
550.
Okay. Yep. I did not know that.
Yep. And
we been rocking with Bees for a minute though.
Yeah.
We was doing something with him, Smack, and Rifkin. when Rifkin was over at All Deaf Digital. He
Mm-hmm.
was trying to put something together there.
Okay. Oh, see, y'all got your fingers in the mix. Y'all out here doing.
Yeah, we're trying to.
Well, I want you
trying
guys
to be
to
out
get your
there.
flowers. You guys are a part of hip hop culture, hip hop history, on every level, from the artist side to the producer side to the executive side, and now on the digital streaming side in all different spaces. Just so I tap my invisible hat to you guys and wish nothing but success for you guys. So as we wind this up, y'all got to shout out allhiphop.com, but y'all know y'all got to also shout out your girl, little NIkki. On the, of course.
I don't want to date you. We've known NIkki forever.
Oh, you can date me. You see this face? I could be 50. When I look like this, I could be 50.
You ain't lying. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, I just want to thank you guys for always being who y'all are. Y'all always been official. Y'all used to take me to my first time at Mr. Child's. Yeah, dropped that old grocery bill.